What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Terry here, and we got a good one for you today. I'll give it a couple of minutes before I get in here, but for everyone to jump on, I'll do some shout outs just while we're warming up here. Welcome, welcome, everyone, just jumping on. All right, what's up, Robert? Hey, James. What's up, John? Hey, Dale, Irving, Jacinta, Trudy. What's going on? Hey, Victor. Let's go, Katie. Hello, Joseph, Johnny, Libby, Stefan, Eddie, Morgan, Greg. Beautiful. Look at all these comments popping off already. Hello, hello. All right, I see Alex in the chat. I'll promote you, Alex. Just keep your camera off until you're ready to rock and roll, and I'll know when to tag you in here. Got Staten Island in the house. What is going on? Staten Island. Beautiful. Nice, nice. We'll just give it another minute or two while we're getting people on here. Is Dave in the chat? Yeah, yes, he is. So, Dave, I'll promote you, mate, and just keep your camera off until you're ready to rock and roll. All right, guys. Super sensational Sunday deal.ai live call coming at you. And as always, guys, few of the ground rules here. So keep all the chat focused, right? We're here to go over specific stuff.
A bunch of people I want to show.
Hey, Terry, I'm just going to say hi to everybody and then I'll come up and teach. But
what's up, T Money?
Hey, what's up, Terry? All right. We
I'm from Toronto, Puerto Rico.
got the Puerto Rico Mastermind in the house.
Yes, build the apps, sell the money.
all right, I'm going to hop up and teach you guys in a minute.
Love it. Sounds good, mate. There we go. That was a surprise for you. We're actually coming live from Puerto Rico today. Terrence and Alex are going to David and Alex and Terrence are going to show you some really cool stuff from Puerto Rico. So awesome. All right, back to the ground rules, and then we'll intro and get this off the ground here. So yes, guys. So chat popping off. We've got a lot of people on these calls now. I usually get a few hundred on at this point every Sunday, which is epic. So just keep it on track with the comments. Don't go down any random rabbit holes. This ain't a support call, right? So if you do have any questions, feel free to email support and they will get back to you promptly. support@deal.ai. And at the end, guys, I'll be talking about some of our other events as well, which I usually do. So good stuff. Let's. David, you ready to rock and roll?
Yep, I just didn't want to have you guys hear me huffing and puffing going up the stairs. So
that was great, man. Got some good energy. How's Puerto Rico? I'm sorry, I was ashamed I couldn't make it, but
I know it's good. We got a good group in there. We're doing some high level strategy and doing some live build stuff.
Let's go.
So it's neat. Yeah, we got a great group, great networking going on. So this is that AI Wealth Club you guys may have heard about in past calls. We got about 30 or so people in.
Nice, beautiful stuff. Awesome. Well, if you're ready to rip it, mate, let's go for it. I'll hand it over.
Sure.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna have Dave. Dave, you start, and then I have some stuff to add to what you're about to present. So
sure. So Terrence built this. He built a whole bunch of prompting, and I ended up putting some ads together. But we built. I don't know if we should start back, working back from what we built. But basically, we built a quiz tool because we train on AI. That's where people come into our world. We built a quiz tool as a front end lead magnet for people to get in and assess how they're doing with AI, and then at the end of it, it gives them a grade. We do a lead capture before it gives them a grade, and then it promotes a learning bundle for them. So it's kind of a net zero lead capture tool.
Well, so I think Dave showed a lead magnet first. I'm going to cover a few traffic generation methods. Let me orient people a little bit. So today I want to talk about demand generation, meaning traffic generation. You've built MVP, you have sales pages, you want eyes on your product, essentially. And there are a few methods. I know that some of you guys struggle with demand generation. There are a few methods. And one of those is what Dave is about to show you, really what they built today in the mastermind in Puerto Rico. And then I'll go through other methods as well. So you guys kind of get a holistic view of different methodologies that is available to you guys. And in this case, Dave has built a lead magnet. First showed a lead magnet, then traffic generation through paid ads. And that's one method. So Dave, take it from here.
Yep. So we have a quiz here, and we use this term AIQ. So it's kind of what's your AI IQ. So we're putting it up as a quiz for people to engage with. And quizzes are a really good lead generation tool. They're a good way to lead people to sales, or give them in your list so you can follow up later. So we built this as a web app, which is what you want to do. And this is in Famous. So what you want to do when you're running ads, you don't want them to have to download a mobile app necessarily for this type of use case. This is a perfect application for a web app. So I have an assessment here. I'll show you the ads afterwards, but I'm driving people to the page so they can kind of get a look and feel onto, where are they on AI. So it'll just run them through, and I'll just answer these real quickly. We generated a lot of the questions, and then Famous actually generated a bunch more. So I'll just kind of rip through these. It's 20 questions, so you don't want to see me read them all and mess with it. But it gives you a grade out of 10, like a skater score. So it's like, a 9.5 or something. So we just roll through that. It's interactive. People like quizzes. Some people build their entire business around getting quiz
This is called the
interactions.
quiz funnel, guys. Quiz
Yeah.
funnel.
There's a company they do it in the financial space. There's a company called Smart Asset, and they just collect the data with a quiz where people try to get an idea of where they're at financially. And then Smart Asset sells the lead 15 times over.
It's like $1 billion company, by the way. It's like raising a ton
Yeah,
of
they're
money.
huge. They're a
Yeah.
massive company. So when they get through the quiz, this is where we get the information. So they have to put in their info to get their grade. Or, I'm sure you guys have played with quizzes that do that. And then we have a little quick question. What are you going to try and do with AI? And then if they want to join the newsletter, we can do that as well. We also have a revenue range question, and then they can finally get their results. 5.3 is not bad for clicking through.
It's so
now-
random. I mean, it actually
it's not
makes sense.
terrible.
It makes sense. It means you are like in the middle.
Yeah,
So it
exactly.
should be 5.3. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and
Continue.
then we push to a product if they want to, if they want to join something. We have a learning bundle here, and this is live today. Oh, this has everything. We gotta do a little bit more on the back end, but there's a Stripe link in there if you play with it. So
Yeah. Go back, maybe go in Famous and show people the prompts.
Sure,
Somebody
sure.
asked, and that's a good idea.
Sure, I have the chat hidden, so I'll pop that back up. But
Yeah.
So going back to the dashboard.
How long did
Going
it
to
take
the
to build? You guys
hour,
built it in the
maybe.
mastermind. 1 hour.
Yeah, it was an hour while walking people through it. So it probably could have been 30 minutes. So let's go all the way back to the top here.
Yeah. Start at the first prompt.
Yep. So we have a really long mega prompt here. Building a mobile app, web app called AIQ, the ultimate pocket coach. It's designed to help people learn, leverage, and launch AI in their life and business through a guided and intelligent experience. More than a course hub, some marketing stuff there. But we get into the purpose of the app. So give me a 20-question assessment to evaluate where they're at. We're giving a precise score, 1 to 10 in 0.5 increments. And then recommending a journey at the end, a product journey from our catalog. So we took our catalog, the 12 different training outcomes we have. And we actually have those plugged in as purchasable trainings. And then we just gave it the whole parameter around, scoring this. What are the ranges that put you in what bucket? And then we have a clear call to action at the end. So if you're, whichever of these 3 buckets you land in, you get a different recommendation on products. So we have a little look and feel stuff in here. and then we have a kind of the structure that we're going to provide it. So it's really
Okay,
cool.
can
and
you
it-
actually do me a favor, Dave?
Yeah.
Copy paste that prompt and put it in the Zoom chat
Yeah, definitely.
so people can get a feel for it. And they
Yeah,
also
it's-
uploaded a screenshot already
Yep.
of what it needs to look like, so that makes it easier for AI to do.
Yep. Yeah, if you see at the end of the prompts, it actually says that it's going to. Is that too long? I may have to put this in a. It's too long. I gotta put it in a Google Doc for you guys.
Yeah,
Bear with
do
me
it real
for
quick. I
just.
think it helps. I think it helps.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Bear with me for a sec. I'll pop it in there. Okay. Guys, go. Okay. I'm usually on my giant screen, so you gotta watch me fumble around a little bit. But then the rest of the chat is, going back and forth about colors, features. We gave it a whole schema to score up the quiz. AI can do that. We did all the ideation for this in an AI chat thread. So it's giving kind of what the question is and then what the right answer is. So it has all that baked into it. And Famous can take that schema, the kind of the framework and the scoring table of the quiz. It can take it and grade it for people.
Yeah, and let me
Yeah,
stop right there.
yeah. Jump in wherever.
So when you're using Famous, so if you look at how Terrence did the previous quiz, like on Wednesday call, he just literally grabbed the whole quiz and put it in an unstructured way in there, and it did the job. It made a couple mistakes, and then it gave it the quiz again and it fixed it. Okay. If you want to make it easier for AI, do some work ahead of time. What they've done is that they've given that to any AI model. You can use Ask Alex, ChatGPT, anything, Gemini,
Yeah, it's
any AI
irrelevant.
model. Yeah, it's irrelevant. This is like a simple task now, so any AI model can do. And then you essentially say, okay, so this is my quiz, write it in a structured way so I can have another AI model to build it. So essentially what you're doing is that you're making it a little bit easier on Famous by pre-processing your work. You don't have to. Again, you don't have to. But if you make it easier for Famous, then Famous can only focus on coding it versus both understanding your ask and coding it. Okay, it's a little bit like actually a human engineer works the same way. So if you give a human engineer a sort of mushy task, they have to first think about it from a product perspective, then think about it from an engineering perspective. And it just makes the task a little bit harder on the human. It takes longer. So if you want to be a really good product manager, you do that first part for the engineer. So all the engineer does is that they go and code it. And it's like a little bit of pre-work. Again, not required. You can talk to it like a human. If you do a little bit of pre-work, you can expect like more accurate results. Okay.
Yeah, and we had prompted it according, to get the prompt that we had here. We had said, we're going to put this into an AI coding tool. Write this prompt according to that, so it's easy to understand. So the tool can just focus on doing what it does best, which is build. And then there's some one-offs in here. I want to pop the logo in. We added a chat feature, which is kind of a bonus here. To tap into the back end of Open API, but ultimately that's kind of we did it because we can. I'm not going to include it in the ads launch here.
Let me explain that too. So depends on what you're doing. So if you're building a quiz funnel for traffic to go in and go through the quiz funnel and capture lead, you obviously don't want distractions on the page, even a chat
Yeah.
widget or something like that. You want people, that's the whole purpose of a funnel, is like a funnel because it doesn't have holes. It's just people go in and they go through the process and lead or sale comes on the other end. Now, if you're building it as a website, then a chat widget make more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So quiz funnels are like, you probably have seen it. I mean, quiz funnels are very popular. It's just like now we have like an insane way of building it in no time. So essentially it's like, think linear, like user comes in, this is what I want him to do, and then this, and then this, and then this, and bam.
That's it. On each page, it's buy or leave, submit your information or leave. Like that's how funnels are. It's to squeeze an action. So
yeah, exactly. Continue.
So yeah, we went a little bit into creating a shopping cart and a suggested learning journey. We just did this live, so we don't have all the back end stuff totally tied up. We just have it reroute to a Stripe link right now.
Wait 1 second. So what you see at the top is that AI made a mistake, and that is, scroll one down. Okay, you see it says for the code present. That is when you click AI made a mistake, the code didn't compile or there was an issue. Either I don't know if it was a console error or actually application error, but they clicked the fix it button, okay, and it fixed it. Okay, continue.
Yeah, it did great.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. It automatically, when you click the fix it button, all it does is that it grabs console error, app error, like it basically creates a package of information, gives it back to the coder, AI coder in this case. It's like, this is wrong, fix it. Okay, that's what happens.
Yep. And then we just got a little bit into, we're playing with the chatbot a little bit, which again, not something we're going to have this launched with. It's going to, you notice it's not in it right now. And then we had another error. The chatbot's a bigger lift. So it's, if we had Dave here, Dave here, probably could have. He is here, but he could have done it up.
But it's supposed to work with any engineering. Like it's just click.
Yeah, of course. As it is, Quiz Funnel works perfectly.
Yeah.
So, there's we played with it here. We added a video. We took it out, but overall, it's a functioning Quiz Funnel. That's where we landed with it. And then we went ahead and I used AI to write some copy, and this is already up in review as an ads campaign on Meta.
Show the ad, preview the ad.
Yep, let's do an advanced preview here.
What did you use for the image?
I used conversational to make this.
Yeah, conversational image. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better with text than a lot of the tools out there. So it was, to me, it's worth the credit cost.
Yeah. So let me explain that a little bit. So we have a few image tools and they're all fine-tuned to do something different. We have scroll stopping ads, which are optimized for literally dimensions that grab people's attention in ads. We have hyper realistic, that is a multi-utility thing that is go-to, the most used image app that we have on our platform, and my team uses a lot. Conversational images is a very specific image model that's also very expensive, but what it does is quality of the image is like, if you just go image comparison, hyper realistic is more powerful, but conversational image has a few advantages. One, it is super accurate with text. You can put a lot of text in it, it does it right. Second, you can iterate on it. You can give it, do this to it, and it takes that image and further modifies it, So it's like, depending on what you're trying to do, use the right tool.
Yeah, it goes right to the source for me with conversational. I've become quite a big fan of it. Because you can go back and forth and be like, oh, I don't like that, do this. So let me just show you. It should be popping up here. Yeah, so that's the ad, full preview on the ad. I have a little a little long copy here. Headline, what's your AIQ? And then they click right to it. This page just froze up on me a little bit. image leaves the internet is a little spotty up here.
Yeah, that's just.
But yeah, you can
Puerto
jump
Rico
right
problem.
into this quiz
Yeah.
and interact. So
Yeah.
it's super cool. It's like,
How long did it take
this
you to
is,
put up the ads?
I mean, 15 minutes, 10
Yeah.
minutes.
So
Yeah.
let's say not all of you guys are as fast as Dave. Essentially, going from there's a reason why I think this is a good demo. You can go from a concept for traffic generation. This is after you have your MVP and product and all that. You can go from that to a fully functioning paid ads. Now, ads need to go through approval process. That is out of our hand. Copy, image, landing page, lead capture in really under 1 hour. Okay. So, and maybe Dave, if you can show, you did a lesson on Facebook ads in 1000x
Yeah.
Academy. Can you show that to people where to find it?
Yeah, definitely. So I have it. I've done it a couple of times. So there's a few different examples in there even. But if you go into the 1000x Academy in deal, there's an initial training on this is just creating the content for the ads. There's one here that's ads and automating the page. This is the third in a series going from landing page copy to building the landing page to actually running ads. This was for a webinar funnel to actually running ads. And I did a Zapier automation on the back end too, just to send the people to Zoom. And there's another ads one here as well. I think that's a different one, but this one's really comprehensive. This series of 3 videos is fantastic. This is a full concept.
And there's a creating lead magnet one that I see at the bottom left of the screen. That would be a good lesson to how to think about. So that lesson, if I'm not mistaken, was created before we had Famous.ai. So that process is neat. So it's not like, you have a tool, we have a powerful tool now. How do you use the tool? Like for what purpose? Okay. So you need to understand what is a good lead magnet. And that product right there talks to you about how to think about lead magnet. Let me step back for a second because some of you guys may not know what a lead magnet is. There are multiple ways of converting a visitor into a lead if your model is to capture leads. One of those is just present what you do and then ask for information. Works just fine. We do that all the time. A lot of people do it as well. A more powerful way, but it requires you to think, okay, is to do reciprocity with the user. In other words, create a thing that adds value to the user. Like, for example, a quiz that assesses their strength in some area. It's like quizzes is one form of lead magnet. So the lead gets something and gives the lead, meaning the end user, they get something and then give you something. Okay. You've probably seen ebooks or book funnels. People use ebooks, and 1000x has done it successfully many, many times. They use like book funnels, which essentially means I give you my ebook is a gift. In return, reciprocity. In return, please give me your information for this awesome product that I have. Okay, so it's the concept, the psychological concept is reciprocity. Does that make sense? So that's why lead magnets is I mean, I don't know why they call it lead magnet, but it essentially means a thing you give people. Why do they call it lead magnet? It's a weird term, but it really means
it's attractive. It's an attractive thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty is
Well, it's with this or in any sort of financial assessment, it's like, am I okay? Am I keeping pace? And they're getting the answer to that through engaging with your quiz.
Mhm.
So it's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want me to riff on this at all, but like Smart
riff
Assets
on
is
it.
huge,
Yeah,
huge,
riff on
huge
it.
company. And they literally have, let me go back to the beginning. So you can see what people are running on here. This is a tool I use all the time called the Meta Ads Library. So you can actually see what companies like Smart Asset are running. So this is Smart Asset. They'd actually, I mean, they live on paid ads. There's not even that much organic following. But they use this and they get direct monetization on this to sell these leads. They sell them 15 times over. I opted in once. I got calls from 5 advisors right away. 6 months later, it was 5 more financial advisors, and then 5 more is over the course of a year and a half. So,
so let me actually explain their model. So
Yeah,
they have
definitely.
they have a pay they are called lead aggregators sometimes, and they have lead aggregators in every industry you can imagine, insurance, financial products, anything you can imagine. There are lead aggregators. So they run these ads that, as you can see, they're not even that great. So
They're
those
not
ads
good at
are-
all.
Yeah.
This is a good question,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sorry,
So
Alex.
no, I'm just saying. So they run ads, Google ads, Meta ads, TikTok ads, whatever. They capture the lead through whatever mechanism. I don't know if they do. Do they do quizzes? Maybe click
This
on the
is-
learn more button.
Yeah, this should be a quiz.
Yeah, here.
Where are you in your journey? They're being very honest about being matchmakers right now. Previously, it was more of a financial like health assessment.
Yeah, so essentially they capture the lead, then they sell the lead multiple times over. So per lead, they monetize many times over. So if you're let's say a financial advisory firm in this case, or whatever it is, they cannot directly compete with these guys for multiple reasons. One, they don't have the know-how of building a quiz. It's just the simple scenario. Most people don't know how to do this at all. Okay. Even though it sounds simple, but most people cannot actually in real life. They don't know how to set it up. The second thing is, if I'm a financial advisory firm and I'm capturing the lead just for myself, I can bid less on that click than these guys, because these guys sell the same lead 15 times over. Okay. So they monetize the same lead many, many times over. And that's why lead aggregators a lot of times beat people who are actually run leads for themselves. Not all the time. There are advantages to running it for yourself, but lead aggregators kind of leverage that unit economics play against individual players. Just so you guys understand how the industry works. Okay.
These are great questions too, because when the lead, like, their value is not even just I'm getting you a lead. Like, they're asking me all these probing questions about, what's going to lead to a product sale. It's like, and there's logic in it too. It's like, do you have any kids under 18? I said, yes, 1. Now it's offering me, it's basically pre-qualing to see if I have anything in place for college savings. So it's a really cool model. And it's all just based around the quiz as the front end lead magnet. My phone's gonna ring forever on this one. But yeah, it's like the quiz. People play with quizzes. If you give them a tool, it's a really cool lead magnet mechanism. So they're gonna pop that in there and.
Yeah. By the way, that thing right here, you can totally build with Famous. Right. Everything here.
Yeah. Give them my junk one.
Yeah.
So that's it. And then at the end, they're building a profile on me. And then a phone number.
Yes, you can build. Someone asked that you can build with AI forms too. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can embed form builders but I mean, we built the whole quiz and to do a grade and lead in Famous, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
And then here you are, they're just flipping me out to.
Yeah, and this right here would be also super easy to build in Famous. All you do is that you essentially connect your backend Supabase. Then you say, hey, here are a list of, in this case, advisors with their image and bio. And this is the logic that you want you to connect my leads to a particular advisor from this table. Okay, so you build this. These guys essentially have in the back end a list of advisors. They charge them to be on that list. So then they say, okay, so here, this data is stored in a backend in their database. In your case, it will be stored in your Supabase. You give it to Famous and you say, here's a list of advisors. Once people come in based on this criteria, which you give it, make a matchmaking. Okay. And then it essentially at that point it starts matchmaking, or Famous will go and program it, put these advisors in a table in Supabase, and then based on your criteria, we'll write the backend logic which advisor to pull at the end of the funnel. You don't have to worry about it. You just have to be able to explain this exact same thing. As long as you can explain it to Famous, this is the key. Think of yourself as a product manager. As long as you can explain it, the logic clearly to Famous.ai, building this is super easy with Famous now. It's super easy.
You just need the idea.
Yeah, you just need the idea and the ability to explain it exactly.
I'm just waiting for my phone to ring. It's inevitable. So,
did you give them your real phone number?
Unfortunately, yeah. And it's a local number too. I did it for New Hampshire where I used to live. So these guys are by distance. So they gave me one national network and then two people that are under 20 miles from where I used to live. So
yeah, so that would be the logic, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you explain to Famous, okay, so here's like when you're uploading the table, you say, okay, location of the advisor. And then when you're explaining the logic, you say, show people, 3 people that are closest to the visitor, essentially. Okay. This is literally, like I'm telling you, like this is like this whole thing, smart asset company is so insane that you can build this whole thing. I mean, you need to find advisors, have a network of advisors and all that. But if you have that, if you're in that business and you understand it, building this is like literally an overnight project. So
I would love to take these guys out. We used to play very heavy in that space. If you guys haven't heard me talk, so it's we used to help advisors primarily, and having a tool like this, if we had Famous, it would have been lights out. Like we have a huge list of advisors. I never struggled to get people to click landing pages. So
yeah.
But,
cool.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, no, it's just super cool. I'm here for any questions or.
Yeah, I want to cover some other lead generation methods.
Yeah.
But what else? Like this is the second day of our mastermind. What are some things you saw members are doing right? Things that you see people struggle with? What did you learn that you can share with the audience?
Yeah. Well, one of the things that that we did a bit of the traditional masterminding. So you get people to share. We had we did around the room. Where are you from? What's your business? What's your big idea? And where are you stuck? We were able to all give each other feedback, and people leave with a lot of clarity. A lot of these people have great ideas. A lot of them already have businesses. Some people are starting new ones, and there's a lot of clarity that comes from that activity. And then we've been able to give some really good ideas on traffic generation. A lot of you gave a nice spiel yesterday. Alex came over and really hammered in his process to get an MVP up, get validation from the market before you really build out the rest of the product. Like you need to try something to know the market wants to buy it before you build build every little tiny little detail, you got to get some validation on it, and that's the kind of the theme here for the mastermind.
Yeah.
And it's cool. We're in a beautiful place too. We're in Dorado, Puerto Rico, in kind of the Ritz-Carlton residence area. It's gorgeous. We had a chef come in. A lot of networking going on. So it's been really neat.
Yeah. So, and Dave, just stay on the call for the next 15 minutes. I'm going to cover a few other lead generation, traffic generation techniques.
Definitely.
Help me out. And in 15 minutes, I have to drive to the mastermind. It takes me like hour, 10 minutes to get there. So I got to go back to the mastermind. So let's spend, what time is it right now? 2:35. Let me spend the next 15 minutes, just talk about sort of holistically. Today, we're just going to talk about demand generation. What are different ways of generating demand for your product? I'm going to share a Google Sheet real quick. My handy dandy write on a Google Sheet. Simpleton method. Okay. So I've talked about this before. I'm going to just repeat it one more time. So there's 4-step process. And I'm going to focus on the 4th step on this call. The 4-step process. Step 1 is bring your idea. I can't help you with that. So you need to have some sort of idea that is sort of, you have some expertise in it, or something you're good at, or something that maybe you have partnered with someone who's good at. So bring the idea. Step 2 is build MVP. Okay. And for this in particular, Famous is now it's just like, I can't think of a better tool I could have given you guys for building MVP. Step 3, build sales marketing landing page. Okay. And in this scenario, Deal.ai, AEO funnels, or Famous.ai are your friend. Okay. So you can build using both, depends on what you're trying to build. If it's a complex thing, if you're building a static page that has maximum psychological impact, like you want to fill it up with psychological trigger to make sale or capture a lead, it's a static page. AEO funnels is the best tool for that inside Deal.ai. If it's a complex thing, like a quiz, you can do it with AI forms. You can do it with Famous.ai. If it is a lead magnet, like a ebook download, use AEO funnels. If it is like a game, let's say you create a little gamification thing, it is not static page, so you can't build it in Deal. It's better to use Famous.ai. So you need to understand what you're building. Okay, let me pop up the chat real quick so I have it on the side. Step 4 is create or demand generation, traffic generation. Okay. And this is where Deal.ai can give you a whole bunch of different things. Now, when I say, and I'm going to double click on traffic, that's like what I'm going to do for the next 10 minutes, just enumerate different ways you can create traffic. When I say traffic here, I am really referring to test traffic. Okay. And why do I say test traffic? Because test traffic is when you validate your idea. You do not want to scale the wrong idea. You want to essentially bring your idea, build MVP, build sales pages, generate test traffic, and iterate until you have a really good product that is easily selling. Okay. And once you have that, then you go, once you've gone through these, I'm going to write it down, gone through these, do not skip steps. Do not start scaling a turd. Okay. And turd doesn't mean your idea is a turd. It's just the market thinks it is a turd. Okay. So you may love your idea. It might be a great idea. Just the market doesn't want it. It doesn't matter if you love your own idea, but the market doesn't. If you try to scale, you hit a brick wall. Okay. So once you've gone through these, then and only then scale. Okay. So now, today, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to focus on essentially traffic generation and maybe a little bit on scaling traffic once you've proven the concept. What is MVP? MVP is minimum viable product. Minimum viable product. I can do a whole session on what is an MVP, but today is not about it. So I'm not going to do it. Just know that it's like building something that that is a good enough representation of your concept, simplified to the core feature set. Okay, so it doesn't have bells and whistles. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to test the market with it. Okay, that's like very important concept, but it's not today's topic, so I'm going to skip that. Now, when it comes down to test traffic, like step 4, which I think a lot of people struggle with, I'm just going to, in no particular order, I'm going to enumerate some methods that are available to you. And the same methods, by the way, go to scaling too. It's just like, do more of it. So the first one that Dave just demonstrated, paid ads. Okay. The beauty of paid ads, and I'm going to write a couple of sentences about the pros and cons. Okay. Let me put it this way. Pro, immediate. Okay. Easily benchmarkable. Okay. I don't know if that's a word, but what that means is if you are a person that run paid ads, like I've done for many, many years, the moment you turn on the ads, within like a couple of hours, you know if it is a good product or not, because you immediately get traffic. You have done it in the past. So you know, okay, is the cost per click higher, lower, average? Is cost per conversion higher, lower, average? So you easily can benchmark yourself and assess how good of a concept it is that you have. Okay. Somebody said, what's your benchmark for ads? It really depends on the ads and your style and your targeting. So there is no one answer. And also where you're advertising, like what platform, what country. So like PPC ads are a lot more expensive than push ads through Meta, as an example. And those are more expensive than, let's say, AdSense, Google Display Network ads. It really like you gotta use the same method at first when you're testing and develop a benchmark for your own industry. Okay, so you know, compared to your previous ideas, there's really no such thing as, I mean, there's such thing as really good and really bad. Some things are just amazing, regardless, in absolute terms, and some things are horrific in absolute terms. But for most people, for most things, assuming that you're intelligent enough to sort of, sorry to say that way, to understand is like you land in the vicinity of good ideas. Okay, if you're that kind of person, then it all comes down to comparing your own ideas against your previous ideas. Okay, you want to be in that spot where you're not outliers, like you don't have fully stupid ideas, and once in a while you have genius ideas. That's great, but most of the things that you do land in the middle, and then it becomes a comparison of your own ads versus for a new concept versus previous concepts. Okay, pros and cons is obviously cost, and the other one is a little bit of a technical know-how. Okay, which you can become good at, but that's essentially it's unique. Once you become good at, then its technical know-how issue goes away. The second method is email lists. Okay, I actually talked about it in our mastermind yesterday. I see a lot of entrepreneurs don't have an email list / newsletter. Okay, Um, and it's I would say, sorry to put it this way again, it is your fault. Okay. So all of you guys hopefully have had some professional network experience through your job, school, friends, all that. I bet you if you go in your Gmail's contacts, almost all of you guys have more than 1,000, a few thousand, almost always, people on your contact list. Okay. It's a, and I know it's a little bit of a pain to start it, but once you start it, having an email list is a super powerful tool for people who don't do paid ads. And even if you do paid ads, you still want to have an email list. In fact, I don't know a single company or business, like maybe some companies survive with it, like maybe a plumbing company can survive with it without it. But pretty much you should always have an email list. And to start it, a simple way to do it is to go in your contacts, download all your contacts from your Gmail, scrub it, maybe take your, I don't know, mom out, take your ex-husband, ex-wife out, clean it up a little bit, okay? And pretty much all of you guys will be left with like 1,000 people on that list, okay? Now, what you do with it is also as important, okay? So you don't want to create a list and send them a blast right away with a sales offer. You do not want to do that, okay? What you want to do is to start sending useful email newsletters. Let's say you're in this case, let's say you're in insurance industry, real estate, whatever, okay? Start sending newsletters. This is what's hot in the market. This is what's happening here. This is what's happening there. Okay, so you need to warm up that list for two reasons. One, they need to get used to you, okay, sending these newsletters and find and make sure the open rate are healthy, click-through rate are healthy. You essentially scrub unsubscribes and bounces and stuff like that. So you need to keep it healthy. But what you don't want to be is what probably all of you guys have experienced at some point in your life, where you submit your email and all of a sudden you're hit with sales emails all the time. Okay, it's okay to send sales emails, but it needs to be 1 out of 4, 5 emails. I would say if you're starting your email list today, which honestly I think the biggest takeaway from this particular talk right now is all of you guys have a list of contacts. All of you guys can start an email list today. Scrub it. Okay. But you can send the first newsletter like tonight, tomorrow, and do not do a sale in it. In fact, don't do it for 4 weeks. Okay. So just continuously, slowly provide value. Somebody said 80% value. Yes, Dave. It's a good ratio. It's like mostly value, sometimes sales. Now, why that this is a crucial tool in your arsenal? Because you will have, hopefully, you guys agree with me that this is the day and age, this is the unique moment in history where it pays off to be an idea machine. Okay, so you will be going through this. If you make this your professional life, I bet you will find huge winners. Okay, but if every time you're going through this, you have an idea, but you can't turn it into an MVP, you cannot turn it into a landing page quickly, and you don't have a built-in tool to get some people's eyes on your product rapidly, you cannot do this over and over again rapidly. Okay, so you just become the idea machine with no execution ability, which is the worst place to be. Okay, so you want to be an idea machine with execution ability. And I think given Famous and Deal at this point in time, it's like super simple. Like it's just build MVP, create marketing materials using image generation, AI spokesperson, whatever you want to use in Deal AI, landing page, AEO funnels, whatever you need to do. But then you need to have a warmed up list. That's the term people use, that you can then say, okay, I'm going to test this. And you just, like, let's say you've done 4 weeks of providing value to people, you send another email, and this new email, you have a pitch for your new product and a link. Okay. And that gives you a way to quickly validate your ideas. Okay. So again, this is the idea here is to, one, become really good at this 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have tools for 2 and 3, and for 4, if you're not doing paid ads, I'm telling you, email list is perhaps the best way to do it. Now, there are other ways to generate test traffic as well. So yesterday on the Mastermind call, it's essentially the idea of Instagram, what is it called? Instagram channel, or what is it called? Groups. If you go to my Instagram, I haven't used it this way myself, but I created in my profile. If you go to my profile on Instagram, you see there's a Famous.ai updates. And I'll talk about Lead Falcon too in a second. Famous.ai updates has, let me tell you, 4,500 people that have joined. Okay, so this is an Instagram channel. And when I put a message in there, it goes to people's DMs, and it has 1.2, so roughly 25% open rate. So Instagram, I don't know what it's called, Instagram channels or something, channels, Facebook groups. Help me out here. What other channels that are similar to this, Dave?
Facebook groups.
Discord is a good one.
Discord,
yes.
Discord's a really cool. I was just going to say that Discord,
Yeah.
X, Threads. There's
Threads,
places to play. X is really good with the with the hashtags. You can sit in there and have conversations and try to attract organic that way.
Yeah. Some people use School. Let me, even though it's a competitor, I'm gonna put it here because I want to help you guys regardless of whose tool you use.
Usually they have strict Facebook groups in School and all that. Usually have strict promotion stuff, so you got to watch that or you get kicked out if you're in someone else's group. Yeah.
Yes, but if it is your group, I guess it's fine.
If it's yeah, totally.
Yeah. So now somebody mentioned Lead Falcon. You put, if you want, do blasts. If not, you can totally use Lead Falcon here, okay, to get higher open rate and all that. So it goes under here. Now, Dave, you also mentioned yesterday there's a tool to scrape LinkedIn. It's not, we cannot recommend this because your LinkedIn might be banned. So we're just going to mention it. We are not recommending it. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, use this at your discretion. Buyer beware. You gotta be careful with LinkedIn. They make a lot of money keeping the data. They want you to advertise there.
Yeah.
But there's a tool. Anything that plugs into LinkedIn that you're not giving them money on, like Sales Nav or something, you are violating terms and conditions. So it's something buyer beware. But I can share or just show it.
Don't share it because I don't want.
Yeah, it's called Eva Boot. Eva Boot's
there are methods. Yeah, to do on LinkedIn. Yeah. Yes.
But buyer beware on that. But you can scrape your. There are tools out there.
Yeah. So. Maybe we shouldn't promote it. No, because it's like against their terms of service, and they ban your LinkedIn account. I've seen people do it. Just
you can hire a VA to go track them down too.
Yeah.
That's a hard way, but
okay. So next thing here I want to tell you guys is affiliate network. Okay. So affiliate network, there are two ways to think about it. Let me call it affiliates. Okay. So one is to put your product on affiliate networks. Okay. And here, there's ClickBank, JV Zoo, I think is spelled that way. And what else is there? Dave, JV Zoo, ClickBank. There's another one. I'm blanking on his name.
I'm trying to think.
There's another big one. Okay.
ClickBank's the one I know.
Yeah, whatever. Google affiliate networks, and these are essentially marketplaces where you can say, hey, people, here's my offer. If you sell it for me, I will give you this much per sale. Now, the problem with affiliate networks is that you cannot use it for test purposes because affiliates won't pick it up. Who are you? Why should I spend time promoting your product? Okay. So affiliates, just like any other entrepreneur, they want to make money. They are going after proven products with a lot of marketing materials built in. And a lot of times, that is that they won't pick up if you just list it on there, which is easy to list, you probably won't get much of traction unless you're a well-known person. It's a well-known offer, things like, and it's really well done and stuff like that. The second way is build your own affiliate network. Okay. So this requires, if you have some sort of built-in audience, okay, like we do as an example, then you can put your own offer on one of these tools. The one that we use, for example, for Famous is called First Promoter. We looked at a bunch of them. And by the way, if you're using Deal AI white label, that has an affiliate built in, that just like everything is tracked. So if you're using Deal AI for MVP building, it's like you have your own affiliate tool. A ton of people use our affiliate tool. If you're using a third party, like if you built it in Famous, you can use third-party affiliate networks that are really cheap to set up. This is just a software that tracks cookies people and rewards people for their payout. And the one that we use, again, third-party, is called firstpromoter.com. You can actually go look at our affiliate setup that we set up a few days ago. As an example, it is, we put it on affiliates.famous.ai. By the way, guys, shameless plug, becoming our affiliates right now is probably a really good thing you can do, because our product is exploding and there's a lack of YouTube explainer videos, like, people showing the product and all that. So if you go to affiliates.famous.ai, you can sign up as an affiliate for Famous.ai, look at the workflow that is built using First Promoter, and you can set up the same for your own products in the future. But essentially, if your product is attractive, if you have a built-in customer base that believe in you and products that you built, especially if they're customers of your product, you can reward them for referring other people, creating review videos that rank on YouTube and Google. That's essentially what would I expect to happen with Famous.ai. I expect a lot of our users who are early movers, they go create demonstration videos for Famous.ai. This is how I built, And right now there's a lot of search volume for Famous.ai, but there's not a lot of content. So these people will rank high. Like you can set up a, Famous.ai review site. You can set up things like that and do an honest review. And then underneath it, you say, by the way, if you sign up from my affiliate link, you will get 10% discount on the starter kit. So essentially, you can create from your own customer base and friend network and people that you can set up your own affiliate network of people that are promoting your product. Call it, referral reward, whatever you want to call it. It's the same concept. It's like you get a customer that if you have some customer base, you get a customer to promote your product, refer to your friends, or create organic organic traffic for you and get paid. We pay 25% of all sale generated from affiliates for the first 3 months. So it's pretty good. So, and all you've done is that you create a video, you send to your friends, whatever on YouTube, and then you get some organic traffic, and it's essentially free money, okay, to them, assuming that they like your product, okay? Otherwise, why would they do it? And they make some money, the new user gets a discount, everybody wins. So that's sort of how you create a win-win scenario. You need to be really mindful. You need to think about when you're setting up an affiliate system, you need to think about what is in it for the end customer, what is in it for my affiliate, what's in it for me, okay? And it's just make that math work so everybody wins, okay? And once you have that, then it's a super powerful tool because now you have a built-in affiliate network. Then you have a new product, you can offer it to them, and they can then create traffic for you, okay? Now, another way to do this is through, obviously, AEO. I have to mention it, SEO. None of these two methods are immediate. They take time. So that's another way to do it. SEO, good luck. Like, good luck. SEO is like, I say SEO is dead. I really mean it. It's like, I don't know if you can SEO. But AEO, there's a chance, okay? And we obviously have tools for that. If you build on AEO funnels, a lot of the best practices is already built in. So you can optimize for AEO, but the problem with it is that it doesn't make a good test tool because it takes time. So it's more of a scaling tool, I want to say, okay? Not a test tool. And it's a long play. Okay, so you need to have really confidence around your product before you spend too much time on this. Okay, another one is influencer marketing that everybody talks about. Influencer marketing particularly works really well for physical products. It works for digital products and software as well, but not as well as, let's say, e-commerce solutions. Like if you have makeup products, you have, clothing, things like that, then it becomes a game of going in Instagram, getting a VA, or you do it yourself. And there is for most people, there is an option. I don't know if everybody has this option. I do. I don't know if it's my Instagram account or not, but you can send people what is it called? It's called a promotional message. So there's like normal message that you send. It goes to the requests tab of people. And then at least I have a way to send a promotional message, which goes to inbox. I don't know if that option is available to everybody or not, or just my account.
I think it's if it's been converted to a professional account.
Okay, so
which anyone can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. I didn't know that. Yeah. I have it. I've seen other people don't have it, so I didn't know why I have it and others don't. So essentially, you turn your Instagram into a professional Instagram account, and then you have a promotional tab thing that you can go to influencers in your market and message them and say, "Hey, I have this product. Would you promote it? Don't say, would you promote it? The way to do that is that, can I send, especially if it's a physical product, the way to do that is to send a message and say, hey, can I send you a free sample? Okay. Or if it is a virtual product, like a SaaS solution you built, there are a ton of people that are like, AI, SaaS, tech type nerds out there that have a large following, and you message them and say, hey, can I give you a free account? And have them test it. And if they like it, then you can talk about, okay, so do a paid promotion for me. I pay you this much. You do the video. You guys get the idea. And it's not that expensive. These guys don't make a lot of money. Just so you guys know, influencers do not make that much money. So to them, you can get them super cheap. That's one way to say it. Okay. So you get somebody called a shout out. Yes, it is a review shout out. They put a little promotion thing underneath it, and that's how that's done. TikTok has a different mechanism. I think it has an influencer marketplace, if I'm not mistaken, where influencers list themselves and they say how much they cost. So you can go pick the influencer, pay through TikTok, and I don't know what TikTok's cut is, but these guys have listed themselves on TikTok. If somebody knows the term, I don't know what exactly it's called. It's called TikTok Influencer Marketplace or something, or Creator Marketplace. So you can do that on TikTok as another way to do it. They've just put a link to the help on Instagram. So yes, so it essentially you have to turn your Instagram into a professional account if you want to do what I just said on Instagram. On TikTok, somebody said it's 50% cut taken by TikTok. I'm not sure. Maybe not. So if it is 50%, that's pretty greedy on behalf of TikTok, but whatever. So it's not your problem. So it's like the influencer listed themselves at that price, and end of the day, that you pay. So that's another way. Influencer marketing is a good way to actually go about doing this as well. I'm going to list one more method, and that other method is partnerships, JVs. Okay. And I've seen this done in massive scale. Ed just mentioned something. Ed does that, and that's literally what he does. I've seen partnerships and JVs done, like especially in the health, like fitness community. Like there are big, I mean, P90X. Okay, you have like it was a billion-dollar company. I don't know if it still is, but you go find a fitness influencer type person, and think of it this way: a person who's like six-pack abs, like really into health, and like, you know, has a ton of following and all that. The odds of that person being also a good business person who can build amazing products is low, because the odds of someone being a really good business person and building really good products is low already. The odds of someone having six-pack abs is really low. I saw like it's like 5% of males in the US have six-pack. I've been trying to have six-pack all my life, and I never had. It's like difficult. Okay. So the odds of someone having an amazing body and being a fitness influencer and being great at product building and business is near zero. Okay. So, and it's true for everything else. Okay. So what you're doing is that essentially say, hey, you fitness influencer, you with a lot of followers, I have this product that if you help me promote it, I can work with you and we create a partnership and a JV. JV is joint venture. I have a lot to talk about. You have to be really careful in doing this. Really, 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 really careful. I don't think I have time to go do that because it's like partnering with a random person. Yeah, be super careful. Okay. But a lot of success stories. Okay. And just combine these two forces together, and you can see amazing. Like I've seen makeup companies do this with YouTube influencers. The company raised like a giant valuation, and they're literally their entire marketing engine was partnering with a huge YouTube makeup influencer. Okay, the whole thing hinged around one person. Okay. In fitness space, I've seen it done. And it doesn't have to be just those things. Like what Ed does on our call, I saw him comment. I won't give up too much details, but he partners with other businesses that have built-in SaaS customers and affiliates, and he brings in his badass white label, of deal, which is like a way superior than the thing that these guys were already selling. It's like, hey, you have this customer base. The customers are churning because your product isn't like mind blowing. I have a mind blowing product. I joined them, and all of a sudden, your product. Sorry, did I talk too much? Is that okay to mention that much? So it just, you combine them. I think. Okay, thank you. So you combine them, and all of a sudden, your customer that you were getting anyways, they have a much lower churn because now they have a badass product. So you solve a pain point for the business that has customers, which is like, I can get customers, but I can't hold them because my product is not mind blowing. So my churn rate is high. You come out like, look at what I built. Okay. And then I offer this to your customers as an additional product, and your churn goes down, or you can charge them more for the same product. I'm giving you guys high level ideas. Does that make sense? The thing about this one is, this is where your business acumen comes in. Okay. So I don't have a way to give you a formula for this. Okay. Unfortunately, there are things that are formulaic and things that are not formulaic. And things that are not formulaic are the ones that are worth a lot more, because not everybody can do it. There's not a specific formula. It's just like ideas. You can go to conferences, industry conferences, meet people, and in the process, meet someone. I don't know how Ed met his partners. You can do that by DMing people, finding companies that do this. Ed says networking. Yeah. So it's not formulaic. It's not overnight. But nothing worth doing is overnight. Okay. But once you have that, you have a distribution system, then Ed can go and build the next product and the next product and the next product. And not only he can distribute through the same partner, you can go through other people that have similar businesses and say, see what I did for this other partner that I had, and then do that. That's why the first one is a harder nut to crack. But once you do it, then you have like a really good pitch for the next guy. Ed says control the payments. Maybe he wants to elaborate on that. Okay. Anyways, okay. I think we went over my time, and I need to drive to our mastermind to go meet people. Anything else you want to add, Dave McMahon? So
yeah, no, it's the influencer JV thing. It's send the DM, have the conversation. You don't know what's going to hit, and it's usually low risk for everybody involved in terms of starting the relationship. But document it. Ed said it. I said it in the chat. Agreements really run the world over there. But it's a cool way to get traffic for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Okay. Thank you for having me on. It was nice to share.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave. And Terry, take it away. Let me put the link to this document. I'll put the link to the document in the chat, or I'll actually have Terry distribute afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. And I'll see you guys next Sunday.